Ever thought how much fun it would be if the place where you worked was a park? You'd be surrounded by nature every day, and it'd be your job to protect all the plants and animals there. Well, the people who do this are called park rangers, and today we'll find out just what it takes to be a park ranger. This is Jerry Bartell, and he's a park ranger at Brazos Bend State Park. Thanks for taking time out to be with us today.
You bet.
Now, tell me, how big is Brazos Bend State Park?
It's 4,897 acres.
That's huge.
Good sized park, yes it is.
Well, can you explain to us exactly what is a state park?
State park is a section of land that's operated by the state government, one of the 50 states in the union, and it's held aside to preserve and manage the wildlife that's in there and plant life, and also to provide recreation for folks to come.
Do park rangers protect people from animals or animals from people?
A little bit of both. Most cases we're protecting the animals from the people. Making sure that they respect the wildlife in the park is a big part of what we do.
Is it your responsibility to read up and learn as much as you can about all the different animals that are here?
That's certainly an important aspect of being a park ranger, especially at Brazos Bend State Park. All the park rangers have a base knowledge of wildlife and animals and plants in the park. The one position that we have, park naturalist position, which is part of being a park ranger, that position even more so. They present the educational programs in the park. As far as our resource management efforts that we do out here, yes, having a background in science, biology, zoology, those type of things are very important.
And your primary responsibility is just to make sure that the land is clean and safe for all the animals?
Yes, in a sense. As a park manager, that's my title here at the park. I'm responsible for the overall operation of the park.
Do park rangers live in the woods?
Well, not really. In our park system, there are residents that certain ranges are required to live in, so we are in the park, yes, in that context, but most of the staff lives outside the park.
One of the most beautiful national parks in the world is the Zimbabwe National Park in Africa, home of Victoria Falls.
Hi Jerry, where are we?
Oh, this is my office. I share it with the assistant manager of the park in here. This is where we sit and do our administrative tasks and our planning for the park. We have computers to help us do that. Let me show you something on what we've got here too, and this is, you talk about getting into the computer age. Well, here you are. We've got computers, 2 stations here. We're one of the few park systems that has a computer system for registering and reserving campsites, and also doing some of our financial reports is right off this computer. A customer comes in and they can register the customer through the computer, just like we used to do by handwriting before, but now it's automated. There's computers in each one of these offices, and people like Susie and Sandy over here, their jobs is to keep that stuff up.
Do you talk to the other park rangers?
Yeah, quite a bit, especially the other park managers. We confer on issues that are affecting the parks and things of that nature. We help each other out with equipment and supplies when there's a shortage.
Since you're a park ranger, are you able to visit other parks for free?
Our policy for employees in the park system, when we visit for the day, yes, we can go in and we're not charged the entrance fee. And that gives us an opportunity to visit with other parks, visit with the managers and other staff members to see how they're doing things at their park that we might be able to do the same thing and improve our park with.
So what do you enjoy better, the paperwork or the outside work?
There's no contest. I love being outside.
Do you have to like nature to be a park ranger?
Yes, I would say so.
Did you know that the person who envisioned the United States National Park System was its 26th president, Teddy Roosevelt?
Being a park ranger, what type of education would I have to acquire?
There's different levels of education depending on the positions that we have in the park and its employment. For a park ranger position, which is a title given to folks who do a lot of the different work out in the field, a high school diploma is required, plus special skills and training in different types of maintenance, carpentry, plumbing, electrical repairs, those type of things, ground maintenance. For the park naturalist position that we have here, there is college required in the fields of zoology, botany, ecology, interpretation, education. Myself as the park superintendent or the park manager, degrees in wildlife or related field, recreation, that type of thing is required. Some accounting skills because we do a lot of business ends of the park running it. So there's a varied amount of education depending on the position that you're talking about coming in and working.
What did you want to be when you were a kid?
I didn't know at that time, and that's okay if that's the case. Probably one of the key things about being a park ranger, or skills or qualifications that you need to have, is you've got to enjoy working with people. You got to enjoy being around people. This is essential because you deal with so many people and you're educating them, you're teaching them about nature, you're teaching them about the park, about our rules and regulations. So you're dealing with people all the time.
Although alligators are cousins of the crocodile, they are their own species and exist in China and the United States.
Why are we sitting here at a park bench?
Well, this is one of our picnic areas, Melody. Like I explained earlier, the park is nature all around, but we do have little pockets of development for people to come and recreate. There's picnic tables, barbecue grills, there's mowed, maintained grounds all around so people can come and they can have a barbecue or a picnic for the day and put up a volleyball net or put up a badminton net and play games and things like that and just have a good time in the park. At each one of these stations we have restroom facilities. We also have water spigots throughout. They're accessible to the trails where people can get out on and walk around and see nature. But we have areas where people can just sit and enjoy themselves. The park rangers, part of their duties is to take care of this picnic area.
Is that done by you?
That's done by all of us here. We're a jack of all trades, master of none. We do everything here. The tables themselves, we come in and replace those. The boards or put new ones in. We build our own barbecue grills and put those in the ground. There's a lot of skills involved in being a park ranger, especially on the maintenance end. You do carpentry, you do plumbing, you do electrical repairs, you weld, you do automotive repairs, you ride big equipment like tractors and shredders. There's a tremendous amount of things that you do.
Can girls be park rangers?
Definitely. What we're walking through here is one of our camping areas. It has water and electricity at each one of the sites. You can bring a tent and camp here, or you can bring an RV like this one over here and camp. As a park ranger, you come in and we take care of all this in here. There's a lot of skills and knowledge about maintenance that you need to have to be a park ranger.
Do you fight fires at the park?
On occasion, yeah. There are times when someone's campfire gets away, or we've had a fire start from lightning that we had to go and put out.
Is being a park ranger dangerous?
Not for the most part, no, but there may be situations sometimes where things get a little bit on the tense side, and you're trained properly to handle those situations.
If you like animals, the outdoors, get along with people, and work well with tools, becoming a park ranger is a definite option.
So Jerry, how many alligators are here in the park?
There's probably about 500 or 600 alligators throughout the 4,897 acres in the park. Most of them are going to be in the water bodies like you're seeing here at Elm Lake. They move from one water body to the next, so it's really hard to say just how many exactly there is in the park, but that's a rough estimate.
What is the biggest alligator you've ever seen?
The largest one I've ever seen was 14 foot plus in this park.
Are you responsible for the care of all the animals that are here?
In the sense that we're stewards of the land and the wildlife here, yes. We are responsible for maintaining the habitat so those animals can live. The park is not a zoo in that context. The animals are living their life history out here on their own. We don't interact in feeding or anything like that. We just provide the habitat for those animals so they can live.
Have you ever fought an alligator?
No, we've relocated alligators from one water body to the next. I wouldn't consider that a fight per se. We try to stay away from the animal as much as we can.
So whenever campers come to the park, do you tell them about the different animals that they will come in contact with?
Yeah, there's information at our headquarters about the wildlife in the park, and the visitor center has an educational program on the weekend, which is free, where we talk about the nature in the park and let people get knowledgeable on what's out here. The visitor center is here to provide education and interpretation about all the natural wonders that we've seen today going out. One of the main things we're trying to do in our parks is not only provide recreation, but get folks to come and visit, see nature, learn about nature so they further will appreciate it later on. It's real important for everybody to learn about the turtles and everything that's out here. So this thing was put out here to have our programming and to be able to show exhibits and educate the public.
So do most visitors take this tour?
Yeah, a lot of people do. It shows the three ecosystems of the park, and there's quite a few folks on the weekends coming through. Part of being a park ranger is being familiar with all of this, which is kind of a neat aspect of working. You're actually learning things as you're working out here about nature, just like the public is.
The turtle peed on
Yeah,
my
the turtle peed on her.
Is this an actual skeleton that was found on the park?
Yeah, it is. This alligator actually drowned in one of our lakes, got hung up on something and couldn't get to the surface to breathe. So we took it out and it was placed out on a mound, and fire ants and some of the other decomposers in nature took care of cleaning it off the bones. The bones were then picked up, and using several diagrams from books, the bones were actually pieced together much like a jigsaw puzzle.
Are you breaking the rules here? I see you have two little alligators in here.
No, this is a real special case. We use these for interpretation and education. The nest was completely engulfed with floodwaters at one time, so we rescued a few of the eggs, hatched them out, and we bring tours and stuff out to schools. We take these little guys and we help teach them about the alligators here in the park if they can't make it out here.
So you not only educate in the park, you go outside
Very
also.
much so. We have a very extensive program that goes out to the schools. We have people to go out and educate the public about the park, about wildlife, about nature.
What should I study in school if I want to be a park ranger?
It'd be good to study all the types of education that you have at that level, because it's all going to be important somehow. It's also good to go to the library and just read up on those things. Different books about being a park ranger, and also just general knowledge about the outdoors.
So your every day is different.
Yeah, you bet. It's not boring, because you come into work and you don't know what's going to happen in the park and what you might have to do that day. One minute you're out mowing like you've seen some of the people, and next minute you get a call, we got to move an alligator from a pond because you got to get him out of there for some reason. Or you got to go up to the headquarters and help sell the permits or issue camping permits, and there's reports you do. We do controlled burns. Like I say, you do a lot of things. It's never boring.
So that keeps you on your toes because you never know what to expect.
Bingo.
And you don't have the same routine every single day.
No, in fact, we're busy all the time.
Jerry, I had no idea park rangers work so hard on so many things. Thanks for showing us.
You're welcome. Come back, see us.